Thank you for joining me for yet another unboxing video, and today we have more Zombicide goodness. This time we have Green Horde tile set for Zombicide 2nd edition. 14 game tiles from Green Horde and Friends and Foes. Of course, this is brought to you by the great people over at CMON, Cool Mini or Not, and Guillotine Games. Green Horde tile set. The zombie plague extends to the wilds. Remote villages and borders are also at war with the infected hordes. It's a nice coincidence you and your teammates are experts at this zombie war. Same rules, different tactics. Use the terrain to your advantage and overcome raw power with cooperation. This set contains everything you need to expand any medieval fantasy Zombicide game board, adding endless possibilities for new quests. Featured tiles come from Zombicide Green Horde and its expansion Friends and Foes. Of course, this is brought to you by CMON. For more information, go to cmon.com and Guillotine Games. That's guillotinegames.com. And again, it tells you everything you need to know about it. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. So as you know, I always cut things open off camera. This way, if I slip with the knife, no one needs to see that. So we have our shrink wrap off. Again, it's another Christmas in April. And here we go. So let's crack this bad boy open and see what kind of goodness we have on the inside. Again, we're talking Green Horde tiles set. Oh. So let's get started. So we start off with our first tile set. And the Fantasy Zombicide tends to be one of my favorite versions of the game. So this is tile 25R. So flip that over here. It gives you a lot more. I believe it's a more complete game than the original Zombicide game. Have a lot more options in it. Again, playing the fantasy battles with zombies is always fun as well. And again, you have barricades, different kinds of barricades. You've got your starting points. You have your mission objectives. Got some pits. You got some different things that you overcome. You have all that stuff there, and you flip it over. Again, you got some fire pits here. You got this here, and of course you got green hedgerows as well. I'm actually surprised at this point that CMON has not yet released a Zombicide which deals with World War II or deals with the Vietnam conflict, goes more into the range of historical versus being fantasy or, you know, horror themed. I'm surprised they haven't gone to a Weird Wars yet. I'm assuming that's going to be coming down the pike at some point in time. And as you guys know, to get involved in these CMON, backing them on Kickstarter can be quite daunting, especially when you look at the price. Your jaw hits the ground when you see the shipping charges and everything of that nature. But the reality is we all love the CMON games. We really do, especially the ones that are under the Zombicide. And we all, if we're a fan of the Zombicide, you know, we're all completists to some degree. We all want everything that has to do with that. All right, so that was tile 12, and that was a punch-out sheet. So here's 13R and V. Got our pentagram in there. Okay, flip that over. Some hedge walls, some stones. I also like the catapults in the game. This is your 14R and V. Again, these tiles are used for, you need to have a copy of the Zombicide game Green Horde or any of the fantasy games. You could put this together with that as well. Also, if you want to use these tiles for Dungeons and Dragons, you want to use for Pathfinder, Zombicide Chronicles, you can use these tiles for anything you would like to use them for once you purchase them and have them as part of your collection. Sometimes I like to just set up some tiles and have my own homebrewed rules for different games with my kids, and it's a lot easier to pull up the tiles than it is sometimes to pull out all the big terrain. So that's why I'm a big fan of the flip tiles, big fan of these, the tile sets that come out from CMON. I don't always purchase all of them. I got these on Facebook Marketplace for a very cut rate price on them. I think I got them for $5 each. So I was very happy, plus shipping. So again, these were good purchases in my book because number one, they're way below actual cost on them. And the other thing was that, again, there's a multitude of ways that you can use them for not only just, so that was 15R and V. Here's 16R tile number. Again, I like using these for when I do role-playing games. Again, I'm doing Pathfinder and I throw, example, I take a couple pawns and throw them on there. It now becomes a Pathfinder. So it takes, throw a Pathfinder standee on there. It's a whole complete different game. So, rather than just using them for your Zombicide games. But of course, most Zombicide games, if I'm not mistaken, have like 6 or 8 tiles included in them, front and back. Now you could take this and make it into a 16 tile game, which would be humongous, ginormous, and again, something that you might want to do for convention versus doing it, at your house with just your friends. I happen to go to a lot of conventions and people play Zombicide as well there. So again, rather than setting everything up, you can just throw the tiles on the table, say, guys, let's start chucking some dice, because again, the rules for most of the Zombicide games are not overly complex. They're pretty straightforward. Of course, each, whether it be the Wild West or be in outer space or be the regular Zombicide or here in medieval times, again, the rules change slightly from version to version. All of them are brutal in general, which is obviously the content of the game, but these are kind of plug and play games where they're more rules light than rules heavy, like a lot of games are. So there's your tile 17, here's your tile 18, this is tile 19, you have the R and V side. So let's continue looking at these. Again, the cartography, the artwork, beautifully done. Never ever disappointed with anything that CMON puts out. Personally, I mean, when it comes to Zombicide, there's very rarely anything in there that I don't like in terms of the scale of the figures, the quality of the figures, the quality of the boards, the punch outs, anything of that nature. I always seem to enjoy everything that they put out. Some people are a little bit more critical. Here's a board 20 R and V. Again, the detail is fantastic on each of these tiles. Of course, it captures the feel and flow of the Middle Ages or fantasy. These are great. Yep. Again, if you have some 3D terrain, you throw them in the rooms. Again, works out really, really nicely for everything. So you have that. Okay. Got some more rooms here. Yeah. Looks like you got an area where there's some wine in. Yeah. A lot of walls. So you have a lot of defense barriers, which is good. This side, well, looks like been a lot of battles on this page here. See blood everywhere. Again, you got the hedgerows. Really well done. And again, this is tile 21. Another tile here, which is tile 22 R and V. Again, these are tiles from both the Green Horde and the expansion Friends and Foes. So they may look familiar to you. If you have Green Horde, of course, they're going to look familiar to you because they are included in that box set. And if you have the Friends and Foes, again, the expansion, you wouldn't need to pick this up because it's in there as well. But if you need an extra set of tiles, again, they always come in handy. I use them for, again, I use them for Zombicide games. I use them for my own home brewed rules. I use them for role-playing games. So again, tile sets are, you never have enough tile sets because you never know what you're going to need when it comes to an adventure. You never know what you're going to run into. Again, you got your openings. Some are sealed off, the hedgerows. Again, that's tile 23. And our last row, here we go. This is our last tile, tile 24. Very cool. Loving that T section. Flip that over. You got more of the hedgerows. So there you have it. That's everything that's included, and this concludes our unboxing of Green Horde tile set used for Zombicide. 14 game tiles from Green Horde and Friends and Foes. Brought to you by CMON and, of course, Guillotine Games. For more information, go to cmon.com or guillotinegames.com about where to purchase these tiles, or if you have any questions about the tiles. As always, thank you so much for joining us for this unboxing video. It's truly appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, you can always give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. You can also hit that subscribe button. This way you're kept up to date as to any time we release new content to the page. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Be safe, be well, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next unboxing video.